everyone, it is Angelyca Violet, and today I'm going to be speaking about how to get inspiration for tattoos. If you haven't watched my tattoo collections, I will have them up here, linked in the cards, as well as down below. Make sure you give this video a like, because tattoo content is super fun to make, and I love sharing with you guys, as well as subscribe, because, hello, I'm awesome. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to start with like some tips that I think no one talks about, and then I'll kind of go into like more of the basic stuff. So to be inspired, you have to be like constantly following people. So I kind of do this in more of like a passive way. So I'm not like constantly like directly looking for inspiration, but I'm always like looking at art which makes me inspired, if that makes any sense. So I will follow artists that I like or that I've been to. For example, I still follow all of my tattoo artists, as well as following tattoo artists I would like to be tattooed by. And it's also good to be following people that have the same style tattoos as you, just because you'll be constantly seeing them post maybe not about tattoo content, or they'll post a selfie or stuff in their outfits, or like a picture of them with their child or something, and because they're tattooed in their pictures, you'll be able to see their tattoos. And of course, just seeing tattoos in different styles and artwork is just constantly being inspired. So a more direct way to be looking for inspiration is to be like searching or following hashtags on Instagram. So I'm big with like American traditional or traditional Jerry Sailor tattoos. So I'm like following hashtag tradwork, hashtag American traditional, hashtag old workers, or I'll also be following tattoo accounts that repost other American traditional artists. The ones that come off the top of my head are old workers, and then like trad artists. I'll have everything linked below, as well as just up on the screen, so you can also follow them. And of course, just like actively looking at Flash is also a big thing. Like if you have a tattoo appointment, just go and look at the Flash the next time you're there. I mean, I'm sure there's like literally every single wall is covered in Flash, so there's like plenty of things to be like looking at all the time. So if you're looking at Flash online, it's also good to save it. I know on Instagram they have like the bookmark thing, and then in the bookmarks you can like make little folders. I personally like being on Pinterest because I like how organized it is. So on Pinterest I have just like a tattoo folder where I place tattoos that I like, or I can draw inspiration from. And then I will also make boards for tattoo ideas I have. Like, I dream of getting my hand tattooed one day. I will do it, but not right now. So I have a Pinterest board for my tattoo idea for my hand, and so I want to get an eyeball. So I have been placing tattoos that I like into that folder. So when the time comes, I can show it to an artist, and they can kind of grasp my inspiration and they can create it into their own piece of work. And of course you can be doing that on Instagram too, since they have like the bookmarking and the folder thing. I just prefer Pinterest because it's like a whole separate entity from Instagram. I mean, I know this makes like no fucking sense, but that's just how I like to do it. And you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, okay? Ugh, my arm hurts. So a main thing I get inspiration from too is just like life. Wow. I bet that's a crazy idea, right? So I tend to get tattoos around the same time of the year, which kind of brings like a tradition as well as like a meaning. So for my birthday, I always will get a tattoo, and most of the time that kind of represents like myself in like some sort of symbolism. For my 19th birthday, I got this moth tattoo, and at the moment I wanted to like develop myself and from like a wee caterpillar into like a beautiful moth, and then moths like always go to the light, so I wanted to bring like a positivity aspect into it. So it was my birthday, so I got a tattoo about myself on me. And you can do that for yourself for your birthday, or if you like Halloween, I know that's a big one, or Valentine's Day if you want to get your loved one's name on like a candy heart, or Easter, you want to get a bunny, like you do you boo. Also, kind of ties back with constantly looking at Flash. I got this piece on my arm. It is a horse with a horseshoe. This is actually completely Flash, but when I saw this, it reminded me of like kind of a thing that I was going through. So at the time, my parents were going through like a nasty divorce, and my mom had a hard time leaving my father just because she made like significantly less income than him. She found an apartment that she could afford on a horse farm, so she ended up moving out. That kind of symbolizes this. So like the horseshoe for luck, and then a little horsey because she was on a horse department, duh. So I guess kind of just like finding meanings in tattoos and Flash is also a cool thing. So like for this tattoo, it's just like a little dragon. I just wanted something to cover my elbow, if I'll be completely honest, but got a meaning as I went on with my life because I realized like my dad has a lot of like Japanese inspired work. So it's kind of cool because like I have like a rendition of his tattoos on my skin. I guess just finding meanings as you get tattooed, or like get a tattoo and just like figure it out later. Biggest thing that I get inspired by is music. I'm like totally one of those bitches where it's like,
music saved my life.
Because like honestly it does, and it's really important to a lot of people. Obviously you can be inspired by literally everything. That's to the lyrics, to the cover art, to getting portraits of the band members. So I would say like 80% of my tattoos are music inspired. So I have more obvious ones. You could be getting scripts of lyrics. I'm not too big of a script enthusiast, but this is my first tattoo and it's right here in my inner arm. I'll post a picture of it because it's way easier to show. It says "Come As You Are." It was my favorite Nirvana song at the time. It also like reminded me to find importance as becoming an individual and just like being who you are. I don't really listen to Nirvana that much anymore, but I do love the tattoo and it was very special to me at one point. So a more obvious one I have that is to music related that isn't script is my Blink-182 nurse. It is inspired by the cover art that is on the Enma State of Mind album. If you don't know anything about Blink-182, I follow this really awesome tattoo artist named Tasha Berman, and she's like totally known for doing pinup stuff. I came to her with the idea of like a rendition of the Blink-182 nurse, and she was super excited because while it was something that was in her style, I was getting something that had more of a meaning and related back to music and cover art. And the rest of my music tattoos are kind of more interpreted, just because from looking at Flash, I kind of know like what American traditional tattoos are and what are other ideas that people have. So by listening to music, I'm able to like create some sort of imagery and like kind of put the lyrics into a picture that I created. I have this woman in moon on my forearm. While this is like kind of a very classic American traditional tattoo, I was listening to one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs, which is Shine On You Crazy Diamond, and some of the lyrics really hit me hard. One day I was just laying in my bed, super depressed with all the lights off. The lyrics are, "You reach for the secret too soon, you cry for the moon, shine on you crazy diamond." And to me, that really stuck with me because it kind of reminds me of like my angst and like my anxiety and excitement to keep doing things. And I'm also like always looking up to the sky, like wanting it to be night and waiting for the next day to come. So while everyone thinks that this is probably just like a classic American traditional tattoo, I sort of like created imagery from lyrics and then interpreted it into a tattoo design. I also did this with another one of my tattoos. This is like, I think like maybe my third tattoo. It is right here. It is my heart-shaped box. Of course, this is another Nirvana tattoo. Heart-shaped box is also one of my favorite songs by Nirvana. I took a lot of imagery from the heart-shaped box music video. Super colorful, as well as it has some poppy flowers, which is featured in the music video. And this is a little bonus, but it's not related to the music, but Kurt Cobain's only tattoo was this K and a shield, which is the Sub Pop logo, which is the first record label that signed Nirvana. So with interpreting the lyrics, you kind of are creating your own tattoo and using imagery that you already know of from Flash, which I really love. And for my music inspired tattoos as well, I've always done Pinterest boards for them, just so I can kind of like capture all my ideas in one place, and it's easy to send to a tattoo artist when you're looking to get the piece finally done. So when you're interested in getting a music inspired tattoo, I think it's kind of important to realize how you want it to be portrayed. Like, do you want it to be like blatantly obvious and have like script lyrics, or you can get like a portrait of your favorite member in the band or your favorite artist, or you can kind of like interpret on your own parts, like I do with a lot of my tattoos. And of course, you can like also just get the band logo if that's your cup of tea. Personally, it's not mine. You can like go do it because that is still super awesome. And of course, always just have fun with it. It's your tattoos, it's your body. So creating art and being inspired by others is always important. Make sure you're not copying anyone, and make sure if you're getting something that you're like kind of interpreting on your own, make sure that your tattoo artist is kind of aware of that so they can kind of like do their own research into everything. For example, like with my nurse, I made it apparent to Natasha that I was inspired by the Blink-182 nurse from that album. And she told me like that night when she was drawing up this tattoo, she like turned on the album and then she was like staring at the album art, and it was a really fun experience for both of us because while she got to like reminisce it on her young punk days, she did take like direct inspiration from the woman that's on the art cover. Personally, I don't have any portrait tattoos because I am like deathly afraid to get a portrait tattoo. But I will show some pictures right here that I think are super awesome. 𝒮𝓃 on YouTube has a portrait of, I think, someone from Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue, so I'll post a picture of her with that. It's super awesome. I'm also on like a bunch of Post Malone fan pages on Facebook, so I always see people getting like portraits of him. A lot of them are pretty dope, but honestly, I'm just like still scared to get one because like if we fall in love one day and we get married, like I think it'd be super awkward if I had like a portrait of him from when I was a fangirl, but whatever. So that is all I have to share today. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below how you find inspiration for your tattoos because I would love to share the knowledge and create a tattoo-filled community. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like if you haven't, subscribe down below,